Roy emerges from hibernation and doesn't mess about.
That's what you get for sticking your finger in the sharp end.
Inspired by a Concorde nose cone, we find out about a British manufacturer's success story. And we have 2 Spartan Bipods to give away. We have news, we have Hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
Really?
There are plenty of ways to lose a digit in Lupton's lair.
Ow, you monkey.
Thankfully, that was one of his expendable ones. We're visiting for the first time in ages, and it is timed to coincide with this year's brood being ready to leave the nest/sitting room, which means that Roy can come out and play again.
I found this is the best way to train them. If you show them what's expected of them in later life.
Once this lot are fed, we'll be off foxing.
How did you play this?
It was your editing, I think. We're pretty much at the end of the breeding season now, so these are the last few imprints that we're just finishing off. So all of these ones that are indoors with us at the moment are just being socialised. They've all been imprinted, so that's hand reared, and these are all coming, all going to be staying with us. We'll fly them this season and play around with them. We've got some really cool and exciting toys to play with. So we'll just feed these up, and then we are now heading back out because it is time to start some foxing.
Now, can I just say, this isn't for our benefit, this is your life, isn't it?
Sorry?
This isn't for our benefit, this is your life.
No, this is a general day, unfortunately. So, yeah, as I say, they won't be in here for much longer because they are really getting about the place. So they'll be going outside now, and the training will begin. So another couple of days and they'll be out of the house. So I'm sure Becky will be pleased because unfortunately there is a byproduct of keeping everything indoors. It's all very cute and fluffy, but yeah, the mopping and hoovering that has to be done before Becky gets back is quite horrendous.
The plan is for a quick call in daylight, grab some food, then off to an estate which is experiencing a few too many fox-related incidents.
Just before we get the lamps out, I just wanted to come out and do a bit of daytime calling. I really do enjoy it if we can get a good response. We've got a little copse just running down here, and I am pretty sure that we should, well, no, I'm not going to say that. I hope we get a good response. So, as I say, it's just fantastic to be back out again. So, when you're doing all the work with the birds, etc., you've got to be 100% dedicated to it. So don't go out. You're at it 24/7. So now it's winding down. It's just lovely to get out. Beautiful summer's evening. So hopefully we shall have some fun. But for a minute I thought that was just going to be a load of old bullocks, but luckily it's not. No, so we came out and we started calling. Went through all of my lower squeaks and built it up a little bit, started to crescendo up, nothing. Flicked over to the silver fox again, which is always a fantastic call. Although this time of year when you've got a lot of young foxes about, and I think that was a young fox, I tend not to use it too much because I prefer to leave that for the winter. Because you can get some really good responses when you've got a lot of hungry foxes. So I went over to that in desperation, and a fox popped up just behind all the long grasses up there. If the fox had started to investigate and come any further, then we could have been in trouble, especially as David has come out and forgot his ruddy jacket. So he is in a very, very, very light white and blue check shirt, so he does stand out like a pimple on a bottom. That aside, we have managed to start the account with our first fox this evening, and hopefully we can go and get a few more after dark.
This fox even tested Roy's patience, and he is never quick to give up if his foxy radar is tingling.
Well, that was a little dog fox that came in. Sometimes you get 3 or 4 cubs come in at the same time, and you may get a couple of them, but yeah, it can make the others a little bit more wary.
We'll be back, but now it's Crispy Duck followed by Flambéed Charlie. This deer park has seen a few fawns fall to foxes, so Roy wants to see if he can drop the numbers a little. The first fox we spot is off like a shot. That's a worry. But we pick up the second and film it through our pulsar thermal. No doubt about what's happened to that. The next fox that crosses our path again appears in the thermal before the beam of the lamp gives Roy a target through the scope. No stopping for small talk here either. We follow her. She has a look from a clearing, but no clear shot.
Oh, come on.
Roy's falconry apprentice Charlie is on the thermal and keeping us informed about anything non-deer related.
They're definitely a little bit jumpy, so I don't know what's been spooking those, because the normally this time of year the cubs are quite easy going. We're trying to get back up onto an adult fox that has been seen here, and we know it's predating on fallow fawns, so it's definitely the one that we want to get on top of, because we're probably coming towards the end of the season for fawns, but it really isn't a habit that we want in foxes around here if they're heavily predating on fawns. So we'll hopefully try and catch up with that, but fingers crossed we'll find a few more out here tonight before we pack up.
Roy was really looking for a bumper session, but it's tough going.
Yeah. David. The foxes are definitely not playing by the rules at the moment. Everything tonight is going to be a hard one for some reason. They're really, really jumpy. We've got a brilliant bit of thermal kit out with us tonight that's been supplied just from Thomas Jacks. It's the Pulsar Helion XP50, and the clarity on it is absolutely brilliant. Charlie's been using that, and he's been picking the foxes up way before we have, with the lamp just coming through and giving us warning. But even with that assistance, we know they're there, but it's still proving tricky. So, as I say, we'll carry on, and hopefully we might be able to pick up another one or two. I really was hoping for a few more than this tonight, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. We'll give it another hour or so and see what happens.
Just 5 minutes from the trucks, the lamp picks up eyes in front, but it's off. Then Charlie spots one responding behind. Roy spins and drops, and shoots freehand, only to discover the original fox has reappeared.
Oh well, we'd literally just decided to pack up, so we'd done the last hour and a little bit extra, and we saw a fox just come across, started to come in a little bit, had a squeak at it, and you could see it in the thermal coming towards us, but we couldn't see it with the lamp. It was just completely obscured by the vegetation. Then all of a sudden another one appeared right behind us, probably only about 50 yards, so had to just spin round and shoot that one freehand. After we shot that one, looked back this side, and it had come out and just poking its head round and sat up just on the edge of the hill. So I'll take that, 2 to finish. So yeah, not a bad evening. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought we would be up in the double figures tonight, but I think we'll call it quits. My bed is calling, so I've got to get back into the runner coming out and being nocturnal again.
Me too.
Bless you. Hey. You alright?
It's a good job he doesn't put the rifle away, as there's a Brucey bonus 200 yards up the valley. So 5 in total for tonight, and Lupton has the bit between his teeth. Welcome back, Roy. And just to let you know, we were out with Roy on the Rose this weekend. The does were forthcoming, but the bucks were a little bit shy. We'll bring you that film next week. Next up, someone else who only responds to females in distress. It's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. Fieldsports Channel has joined forces with Basque to crack down on an anti-grouse shooting film. Released at the weekend, it features campaigner Mark Avery and makes misleading allegations about the role of gamekeepers in the management of uplands. The website hosting the film also falsely claims it was commissioned by the Green Party. We were able to get the film taken down after it used our footage without permission of grouse shooting, which is shown here. Hunters are the only group interested in the welfare of foxes. In a debate in the House of Lords, Chairman of the Masters of Foxhounds Association, Lord Mancroft, said that UK fox and hare numbers were falling and anti-hunting groups don't care. Are you off to the game fair? Well, you could win £100 spending money at the Shooting Village, part of Gunmakers Row. Visit facebook.com/The Shooting Village and follow the instructions in the pinned post. All dogs are descended from the same wolf pack. That's the conclusion of new research by Stony Brook University in New York. It concludes that dogs evolved from wolves at a single location around 20,000 to 40,000 years ago. Researchers studied DNA from 3 dogs found at archaeological sites in Germany and Ireland that were between 4,700 and 7,000 years old. And finally, one of those descendants has saved a fawn from drowning. The golden retriever called Storm acted on instinct and retrieved the deer it found floating in the sea off New York State. The owner claims the deer survived, but then he also claims it was a good retrieve, and you can see him struggling to get the deer off the dog. A bit of wolf still left in that one. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. What does a great game fair need? A big house, some tents, and a theatre. And the good news is, we're running it. This year's Game Fair Theatre will feature lots of Fieldsports Channel's familiar faces. Roy Lupton will be talking about eagles. Crow will be on form talking about pigeons. We have Tim Pilbeam, Dom Holtham and Rob Gearing. And then there's the serious stuff. Britain is leaving Europe, so surely that means we can get rid of the general licences. The BBC, what is Countryfile all about? And Scotland, if Nicola Sturgeon had her way, she would close the border to shooters. There are the calling and horn-blowing competitions, fox calling on Friday afternoon, hunting horn-blowing on Saturday afternoon, and duck calling on Sunday. You can sign up for these at bit.ly/GFTcomps. And there is the Gunteaks Roadshow. A panel of experts will value your gun or your fishing tackle. Just email me a photograph, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv, and better still, turn up on Saturday afternoon to watch. In fact, turn up any time to watch. It's going to be like the Graham Norton Show, but with me instead. So much better. Find us in the centre of the Game Fair site next to the main ring. The Game Fair is on at Hatfield House in the last weekend of July, the 28th to the 30th of July 2017. Visit thegamefair.org for details. Now, Rob Gearing took inspiration from the Concorde nose cone for his shooting product, and he hasn't looked back. In a small rural business unit in Sussex, Rob Gearing and the Spartan team are building bipods. Lots of bipods for a growing domestic and international market. We first met Rob in 2015 hunting ibex in Kyrgyzstan with outfitter Tomos Vetic and Tier 1's Craig Coote. Rob's company has continued to gain momentum and is now producing thousands of bipods every month. We catch up with Rob after a productive trip to the United States, spreading the Spartan message. While he was there, he filmed this close encounter with a bear and her cubs. It shows that this mountain climbing adrenaline hunter still enjoys pushing the limits.
Mr. G in Montana, and I'm doing this for the British Fieldsports Channel, my friend David Wright. And Charlie and I hope that you'll put this on.
It started about 6 years ago. I used to take clients out stalking a lot, and I basically had a Harris bipod permanently glued to my rifle. Great bit of kit, not out to knock it. The functionality of them, they're excellent. They've done the job and hence they haven't changed, because why change something that works? But I got really fed up with the bad balance of the rifle. I got really fed up with the thing sticking in my shoulder. I got fed up with its weight. And I also got fed up with that ding, watching a roebuck disappear. Or even more importantly, a client going ding, watching a roebuck disappear when I'd spent the last hour and a half getting somebody into one. So I thought there's got to be a better way. Long story short, we bought one of the noses of Concorde, turned it into a lovely piece of art in a different world. This was a different Rob Gearing life. And it was outside Ascot, outside the Royal Albert Hall, but we mounted the whole Concorde nose on an Olympus engine bearing. To cover that bearing up, we put 2 clamshells around it. We didn't want nuts ruining the lovely lines of the Concorde. So the guy that did it for us used 2 rare earth magnets, and these things were hugely impressive. I mean, 16 kilos and tiny little magnets. And I said, make me a bipod that goes on my rifle with a magnet. That was the end of my genius. I promise, end of my genius. He made a little Heath Robinson bipod that I then used for sort of a couple of years with clients, and everyone was going, oh my God, this is good, this is good. I thought, I better get this patented. I patented fixing a tripod, bipod or monopod to a rifle, to a camera or to optics via a magnet. So I jumped in the tiniest boat imaginable with no money and started paddling, and I paddled hard. I paddled really hard, and people jumped in that boat with me to help me, such as dear old Craig from Tier 1 did a brilliant job. So I've had a fantastic team in that boat. So this is not a one-man journey, never pretended it has been. Frustratingly, the UK has been the most difficult market for us. Whereas in Europe it's gone insane. Last month we broke 15,000 bipod sales. I mean, we're 3.5 years old. We've sold 15,000 bipods. And really, the Americans still don't know who we are. I mean, I was contacted, the first serious contact I had from the States was from the US SEALs a couple of years ago. And they said, we want a lightweight bipod. And I said, yeah, but ours is a hunting tool. And they said, well, forgive us, we hunt people. And I thought, well, fair enough. They don't want anything stuck on that rifle. If they can pull it off, they want to pull it off. Furniture, or the real estate as they call it on that rifle, is precious. So basically we developed a Spartan 300, and that works the same way as a Javelin does, but you have the added advantage that you can fold it up and store it aft or store it forward. So it's a get you out of trouble bipod, which is effectively what all our bipods are. They're a compromise. We don't pretend that we produce the ultimate target bipod. We produced lightweight hunting tools to enable you to take that accurate shot when you need it. And that's really been our drive and where we've gone. And we're really proud of how we've achieved that. So now we're bringing out the tripod, which covers everything from seated shooting to standing. We're now working with a fantastic material to produce a tent to go around our tripod. Why not? The tripod breaks down to 2 trekking poles. So this is my mountaineering background coming out. I'm thinking shed weight. But I think the success has been how the rifle manufacturers have embraced this. Blaser, bless them, you know, at the end of the day, they were the first guys to take it on board. And that's been a huge success, I think, for Blaser and for us. And now we're concentrating on America. Well, I've just returned from the States. We had a great TV interview with Jason Hairstein from Kuyu. I think he's going to be doing something with us. Schnees. We're already doing some stuff with Weatherby. You cut me in half and bipods will fall out of me at the moment. And all the time that is the way I feel I'm enjoying the journey. I'd like to get out and do a bit more hunting again and doing the things I'm really passionate about, but I'm meeting great people that I really like and enjoy being with, that share the same views and values that I do.
If you would like to find out more about the Spartan products, go to javelinbipod.co.uk. Thank you, Rob. A great British success story there. And Rob will be appearing with me on the Game Fair Theatre stage on Saturday the 29th of July, talking about how he took an incredibly long shot on an ibex whilst suffering from altitude sickness. So I'll be bringing a bucket then. Rob has also made available 2 of his bipods as competition prizes for lucky Fieldsports Channel viewers. All you have to do is pop the word Sparta into the comments below this film or into the comments section below the Facebook post about this film, and we will draw the winner during the winners during August. Now, from the Tian Shan Mountains of Kyrgyzstan to the valley of the water margin that is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. With the European row rut just around the corner, viewer Jonas Tillman sends in this film from Germany in May this year with all the joy of the other wildlife you see when you are out stalking. Tweeds and Pheasants proudly records his best day on the pigeons on film, 152 pigeons on standing barley. It took some planning, and he talks through that too. Adam Mayo is pigeon shooting in Pakistan and showing what a great hunting destination Pakistan is. He has just put up this film from 2015. There are a couple of minutes of chat before you get to the action in this film. Hunting COC has 4 in the bag and spots plenty more about. Hunter Eddie also happens on a fox while out muntjac stalking. He ends the day with a large muntjac buck in velvet shot. Out in the prairie of Nebraska, Les Johnson is calling and shooting coyotes, or coyotes as he calls them, around cattle and water. It's a slow-paced instructional film that shows off an electronic call. Sin City Outdoors is a popular channel from the USA, and in this film the boys are out hunting jackrabbits. They shoot responsibly and make it clear why they are shooting. And finally, here's a taster of gator hunting in South Carolina. It's by Melissa Bachman, the woman shooter the aunties love to hate, and she is out after alligators with her mum. That's it for this week. I have put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the link or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, that is it for this week. If you haven't done so already, pop over to our website, please, fieldsportschannel.tv. You can click to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, or best of all, pop your email address into our constant contact form on our register page and we'll contact you about this show. It's Field Sports Britain. It's out at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday, and this has been Field Sports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.